Her body like the Wild Wild West. What if you done found out, yeah? Riding in the big God bless. She's all inferno. It's a hell of a time.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Funday podcast. We're continuing the preseason series again here, joined with our first playoff team that will be joining us for the series. It is Graham Berry. Graham, how's it going, man?
Just grateful to be here with my good pal Henry Winklehake on the cusp of a new fresh fantasy baseball season. So looking forward to the new year.
Ooh, did you just do a thumbs up reaction somehow in the?
I like that. I don't know
if
how it
it's like
happened, but
AI recognizes the reaction. Maybe I don't know what kind of features we're working with here on this platform, quite honestly. But Graham, I want to go ahead, roll right into the first question. How is life outside of fantasy baseball going for you right now?
life is good. Life is good. Kind of getting past a little boringish winter, but just been hanging out. Just been getting through the old winter season. Ready for it to warm up a little bit and ready to play some fantasy baseball with the fellas. But no
Warmer.
big updates. Nothing major going on with me.
All right, well, we're ready for the season to start. We're ready for warmer weather and all the fun shit that comes with that.
Absolutely.
Jumping right into the questions I got laid out for you tonight, man. There's been somewhat of a development. Do you have any comment on the recent tensions between the sneetches and the non-stars?
I I don't think that I have a whole lot of insight to that. I think that from the non-sneech perspective, I know that Alan hates the sneeches. I know that Chuck hates the sneeches, but they also don't care for at least 60% of the year. Um, I haven't heard as much from the sneeches. Looking down on the non-sneeches. Obviously you guys are scumbags and snobby, but I haven't seen like an overflow of that this off season by any means.
Have you seen all the podcasts in the preseason series thus far?
I have, and Coates is trying to like make a bold decision. There's that thumbs up again. That I think what do you say? Three out of five teachers are gonna make the playoffs. Like, cool, dude. I mean, bold. But I mean, I've seen that kind of stuff, but I haven't really seen
Yeah.
anything to rouse the old emotions.
I mean, I might be biased from my own personal affiliations, but I feel like there was maybe anti-Sneech undertones in the Dawson episode.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Dawson got some tough questions. I think Dawson got a tough. He kind of got put under a little bit of fire, and he had to
Dawson
fight
got
back.
put on trial.
So actually, shout out to DT. Shout out to his interviewers. I mean, way to make him work for that interview. But
Ask the hard
that
questions.
definitely there was some there. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Another question I do have for you, Graham. I feel like you have been a manager that has somewhat hugged the middle. I mean, there's been obviously peaks and valleys throughout, but is like the perception of you as a manager, I feel like is maybe somewhere around 500, maybe a little bit better. Is that one a fair perception? And two, if it is, how do you break through into the next level?
I mean, it's kind of fair just because I've never really won playoff games, But I mean, I am one of the few managers that has a career over 500, percentage in this wild, wild west. So I do think that is certainly something. I do, it's definitely worth noting that most of my bad years were early on, but I'm definitely. Definitely, I mean, I think Coach said it in his pod the other day. I'm a regular season manager. Everybody knows I can get some regular season wins in there, but it's just the playoffs is my hurdle to go through. So fair for the middle manager kind of perspective.
That's well handled too, but I didn't actually realize you were lifetime above 500.
I
So
certainly am, and I certainly am. Yes, sir.
all right, well, that's my bad for not recognizing that fact. I'll put some respect on your name for that. I do want to ask you about the climate, a little bit of the environment we've seen around us this off season. it feels like it's been a slower trade market. Is that just me, or are you feeling that too?
I think I'm definitely feeling that. I think there's more general fear in the different camps of our league this offseason. And then maybe just some disinterest in the trading, just because everybody wants similar picks. But I do think that some people are gonna revert back to certain strategies that are a little safer, just because of how bad people are feeling from missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we get later on in the segment where we kind of start naming names and bold predictions and such. But you got anybody in particular you think is was on the outside looking in last year and they might be
I
switching up
mean,
strategies?
yeah, no, Coates has been pretty outspoken about him not doing certain things because of what happened last year. So I think that's definitely there. I think yeah, Coates mainly is the one that I'll
Yeah,
name. Just because he has been so open about it. But I'll wait for my bold predictions for my bold predictions. But
sure.
yeah, I think that me and Austin hitting the scene is pretty consistent the past couple of years. Is making the playoffs a little bit less of a lock for the perennial playoff members. So I think some strategies will definitely be pulled out that have not been used the past couple of years.
That'd be interesting to see a shift up in strategies. I feel like we haven't seen any crazy new wrinkles in a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Somebody wants to try some.
Maybe we see the starting pitcher year in 2025. Who knows? I mean, unlikely, but it's possible. It's certainly possible.
You all heard it here first. You better draft all the starting pitchers early. Anyone who picks in front of me in the second round in particular, go ahead.
Yeah,
Scoop
so
them up.
that my second clump, I can still have some hitters.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Shoot, I'm later now in the second round than I realized because you and I just made a trade. But
We
moving
did.
forward, do you think follow-up question on the slow trade market this offseason? Do you think there's any carryover effect into the regular season?
No, I think that the trading in the regular season is very, very different. I think that we've seen a lot of really not a lot of trading at all outside of Sundays in the regular season. I know you love your Sunday trades, but I think we're definitely going to see a lot of that again as wins become very, very, very valuable, as the fear increases even more throughout the season. But yeah, I think that's it's pretty much the situation there.
I tend to agree. I feel like as desperation kicks in, obviously you see more moves or
Yeah,
injuries.
but
You
not
got like five
really.
guys in the
We
IL.
don't really see a whole lot of big pieces moving like we used to see Prime Kershaw on the move in the middle of the year. We're not going to see. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of that.
That's a good note too. I feel like there's less blockbusters as a whole, but I mean, we're still making deals, but probably on average a lot less than we used to,
Definitely, everybody's a little more careful. That's understandable though.
for sure. Whole lot of leaves and such.
Whole lot of leaves. That's the exact phrase that came to my mind. I wish there were a little more leaves out there, but we're good. We're in good shape.
Well, maybe in future years we can put out a scheduled increase.
Scheduled, yes, sir.
I should have prefaced those last couple questions with saying you're a man who's known to make a good amount of trades. You're regarded by many as a man of reason.
Hmm.
If we're looking elsewhere in the league, if you had to give me like a sleeper, a breakout, and a bust for reasonability, who you got?
The sleeper reasonability is the first one that comes to mind because I do have a go-to, and it's always Connor Taylor. Not that he's easy to trade with or like easy to rip by any means, but I think once we put our heads together, there will be a deal made within 7 or 8 minutes. So that'll be my sleeper. You say breakout and bust out.
Yep.
Bust.
Yeah, the breakout is like who's like on the verge of becoming reasonable. You can feel it in them.
Allen is the bust, actually. Allen is the bust. Yeah, because I can make a trade with you after some grueling hours and text exchanges. Allen, I don't think we've made a deal in years since he became less reasonable. Breakout of reasonability. We'll just have to throw Nicky Nonos out there.
We'll just have to throw Nicky Nonos out there.
Nicky Nonos. He shows his ability to be reasonable on Sunday mornings. On
That's
Sunday
fair.
mornings at about 9:30 or 10 a.m. You start to see Nikki in a different light, and he's a much easier person to communicate with. Unfortunately, he has to be desperate, but if we can figure out a way to tap into his Sunday morning desperation on like a Tuesday evening, then there is some real trade potential there.
And you're exactly right. I shouldn't have reacted like how I did, because I know he's going to see that and he's going to come and be like, yeah, that's why I have the second most trades in the league at 114, because
Yeah,
he makes 10,000 Sunday trades. So.
You're getting put in the notes app for that reaction.
For sure. But that's fair, and that's a good assessment. If you had to, I'm going right into kind of another like draft the league type question, because I love these ones. If you had to go on a mythical quest of some sort and you had to assemble your squad for members of the league, who are you taking and what roles are they going to fill?
All right, so you say mythical quest of some sort. I need some rough guidelines. Is it like a Shrek getting
No, it's
Fiona
more
kind
like
of quest?
it's more like Dungeons and Dragons, like Lord of
I'm
the
not
Rings
trying to
kind
win
of
my
shit.
swamp back.
No, I
All
mean
right,
it could be.
how
You
many
can
guys?
build
How many guys?
four,
Okay,
not including you.
not including me. So I get a decent amount of the league. I get a playoffs of. Oh no, never mind. I'm tripping. But all right, so
That's a good pool.
the first ones that come to mind, I am gonna need you and Dawson with me on my mythical journey. I feel like you guys would immediately be locked in. That you guys would want whatever I want in that quest as much as I want it. So I need you guys in there. As far as roles, there's my thumbs up again. Roles, you're definitely going to be my wizard kind of guy. I wouldn't put it past you to keep some potions on you. Maybe some books of rare knowledge that could help out along the way. Um,
I got him.
Dawson. I feel like just good partner in crime. Just he's exactly like I said earlier. He wants it just as bad as I do. So he'll keep a couple good weapons on him just in case. He got a good motor. He can get there. So I need two other guys, and one of them is going to be Alan Orms, not just because energy definitely matters too, but he's a very large guy, and in a mythical journey, I want a large presence. Maybe some rumors spreading that I'm traveling with giants.
Hodor.
Hodor.
I could be Hodor just as easily.
I need somebody to hold the door, just in case. So Alan's definitely coming along. Lastly, I really want to say that I'm bringing Chris Carlin along as a gesture, but I don't want to bring Chris Carlin along. So I'm actually going to scratch that. He's not he would only be a liability on the quest. We're going to go Chuck. I'm going to go Chuck as my last member. I just feel like he could contribute in ways that I can't, but I wouldn't know what until he does it. Like Chuck might have some rare skills. Maybe he's like a blacksmith or something on my mythical quest. Maybe he repairs shoes or something. I don't really know, but he's a useful guy. Presses the right buttons.
I'm realizing now, as you said that, Graham, that this is not entirely dissimilar to Coates' question of the Renaissance Fair, like Mythical Quest Renaissance Fair.
It's a little different.
He said absolutely no Chuck, and you're including Chuck in your circle. So
Yeah,
you all have very different reads on Chuck.
So Renaissance Fair is you're going into something that's not real going into it. I feel like you throw Chuck into an actual situation where there's shit going on. He's forced to care. You get him to a Renaissance Fair, he thinks he's too cool. He gets a little arrogant. I can see why Coates would not invite him to the Renaissance Fair. He might bring those vibes down, but I do stand by him on my quest of mythical origin.
That's well explained. I can totally see the difference now. So thank you for breaking that down for me.
But I see this definitely similar questions. There's a theme going on this year.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize those ones were close there. But
was that a sneeze
nonetheless,
question?
No, that was not.
Okay.
But great transition, and the sneak question is actually kind of a great segue in and of itself, because your keeper journey this offseason has kind of been a strange journey, a mythical quest, if you will. So what's up with that? Can you kind of just walk us through your thought process and how that's evolved?
Yeah, I hate keepers, first and foremost. This is a league that should start over every year. So I like to get that off my chest, as I have a couple of times before. But let's see if we can get that thumbs down in there. No, it likes the thumbs up only. Nope. All right. Well, first two options: Brenton Doyle, Brent Rooker, Terry Rooker. Had concerns about both of them, but saw early on that they are, valid keeper options. I think Rooker had like the forearm thing. Brenton Doyle is just a weird guy. So I wanted to trade for them while I could. Knew I wasn't going to keep them early on. I did see a couple guys that had some great keeper options. Definitely Coates was the main one from the beginning. The Jaron Duran thing was actually the weirdest one for me. I wasn't expecting to get involved with him. Just it worked out in the trade. Thought I wanted him for a second, but then I thought I wanted my 10th round pick and wanted to keep somebody in the last round. So kind of settled on McLean. Still have that terrain background if in case somebody wants to tear an ACL or something. But Degrom's just not enough.
Okay, I was going to say you skipped over Degrom.
Yeah, I mean he was never really heavily being considered as my keeper. I don't like pitchers either. So yeah.
Is your team name currently Degrom?
It is. I was trying to convince myself to keep Degrom. It didn't work. Didn't work at all.
It's all right. It's smokescreen
I
season.
want Jacob Degrom for free on my team. I do. I really do.
Yeah, I feel that.
But no, we're not keeping Degrom.
And I was part of the camp telling you he's only going to throw 50 innings this year, but
Yeah.
I've kind of like come around to him a little bit myself.
100 would be worth whatever would be worth that keeper pick. But
Oh yeah, if he was free.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, the keeper thing, I like trading. I think I ended up doing pretty good. So I just knew I was going to move some guys around. They just made that rule this year that you can trade players. So now maybe you want to stack up on young guys at the end of this year, but that's just going to make this whole keeper thing a little more annoying. But, we got to play the game.
It's almost something you're in a better position to do, though, if you're on the outside looking in and you're like, yeah, just give me all the good keeper options I can stockpile.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure most of them are on rosters already anyway.
Yeah, and then obviously none of the trades for keepers were like drastic changing except for – wait, was yours and Carlin's the first one? Was that a keeper trade?
I guess it was first. It was on Fantrax, but it was a keeper trade.
Okay.
He got Churio, and
that was the only real bad one. That was the only real bad one.
Allegedly. Are there any bold predictions you want to drop on us tonight, Graham?
Yeah, I'll have a few bold predictions. I don't think that Connor or Coates are going to make the playoffs again. I think they're in a little bit of a blender for themselves. Just going back to the sneetches on a little bit of a downturn right there. I do think that Connor and Coates. I think that Connor won't be a sneetch at the end of the year also, just because of like his consecutive bad years and just yeah.
I guess that's essentially the same prediction you just made before, but that kind of sunk in for me. It's like, yeah, if Connor misses the playoffs,
he's had a couple rough years already, but I do think that the sneetches are kind of going down a little bit. I think that Dawson will bounce back okay, or like Dawson or Coates. I think that 2 out of 3 of those guys are going to miss. So I do think that's going to happen. I think that Colton falls back out of the playoffs. I don't think Jason's going to make the playoffs. Don't think Carlin's going to make the playoffs. I guess that's 5 guys right there. So,
can we recap? That was Carlin, Colton,
Coates, Connor.
Coates. Who's the 5th?
Yeah. Who's the 5th? Colton. Did I say
Colton.
that?
I think we're on 5 currently.
Colton, Connor, Coates, Carlin. Oh, I got to name one more.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe just 4 there.
Chuck edges out my new rival Harley for the last playoff spot this year. He cares.
There you have it, folks. Some bold predictions from Granberry, which moves us on to one of our favorite segments of the show. It's time to get accountable.
Yes. I was telling Henry a little bit earlier. I did send out that little poll in the group message. I actually forgot what the other option was, but everybody overwhelmingly voted for the playoff member dinner at Malone's if I miss the playoffs, minus Chris Carlin. We were keeping that stipulation from last year. So even if Chris Carlin runs the table, all of it, he will still miss the Malone's dinner if I don't make the playoffs, and he does.
It's
So,
sad.
yeah, so everybody is welcome to that dinner except for Chris Carlin. If I miss the playoffs, which I will be making the playoffs this year, I'm going to win enough games to sneak in there. It's just whether or not am I going to win a playoff game this year. But if I do miss, we will be eating some steak.
That's a really good one. I feel like, not to call anybody out, I feel like there were some crazy ones last year, but the trend has been backing away from monetary ones.
No, dude,
so.
I mean, we only had a few crazy ones last year. Jason giving me the head shave already. That's pretty good. I think this one's a pretty good one. I think we'll see another couple good ones. I think that
We have
after
good
just
stuff.
having a couple good ones last year, I think Nikki just had some high hopes that all 12 of us are going to do some crazy shit. But I definitely understand the more fearful managers not wanting to do big things.
And no, I mean, they're all good and they're all fun, like creative ones. It's just, it's not necessarily a huge monetary thing.
I forgot a couple of them already, to be honest. But I do like that everybody's doing.
Yeah.
We had two last year that just said none, right? Chuck and Brock?
I think so, yeah.
So we'll see what Chuck does this year. You already recorded his, right?
No, we haven't. Chuck is hopefully soon, hopefully in the next day or so.
Okay.
But it'll probably be released before this one if we follow like the playoff order. But
Yeah.
I guess there's a chance this one comes out first. There we go. Good accountability check. I love it. Graham, any closing thoughts before we finish up tonight?
I think we covered a lot of good ground here today. I think we hit it on the head. Just ready for the draft. Ready for another. How many days we got? 15, 19?
It's like 16 or something.
16 days. We'll take it. Ready to draft.
I'm ready for it too. Ready for that in-person draft, right, buddy?
Yeah. We'll make it a good time. I'm still gonna try a slow draft this year. Gonna think about all my picks for 4 minutes each.
I mean, we should. It's like it's life-altering decisions.
Yeah, got to figure out which. Yeah, you're right. Good fun slow draft coming in. But yes, sir. Thanks for hosting. Good questions tonight. And yes, sir. You enjoy your evening.
You do the same, buddy. It is always a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back.
Absolutely.
Her body like the Wild Wild West.